What's up, guys? In this video we're going to be getting my 1967 Chevy 2 ready to take to the track for the first time. So if you've been following the channel, I had 3 videos on this car before, and basically the torque converter blew up. So these cars are very tight in the transmission tunnel, and I wasn't able to pull the transmission out with the engine in the car. So I pulled the engine and transmission out of the car, and I repainted the engine bay because it was painted blue, and I changed it to satin black and upgraded a couple things, did a new fan setup, wired things a little bit differently, and there's a 3-part video series on that. And at the end of that video series, I said, I want to take the car to the track. I want to see what it runs. And I just never got around to it. So now we're actually going to do it. In this video, I'm going to be getting the car ready to take to the track, checking some things over, and I got to clean spark plugs. I got to make sure all the bolts are tight and things like that, get some stuff together. So we're going to be doing that in this video. I also have something new that I teased in the last video that I'm going to show you for the car, which is going to be a huge upgrade. And yeah, we're just going to go over things and get her ready. All right, so there she is. So if you haven't been following the channel, I'll give you a little rundown. This is a 427 small block Chevy from Blueprint Engines. It makes 552 horse at 6,000 RPM and 540 foot-pounds of torque. It's backed by a Turbo 350 trans from TCI, and it has a Summit Racing 3500 stall converter in it. In the last video, we installed that, and that was kind of the reason the engine was out of the car, because the old torque converter blew up. And it really helped the thing out, because before the torque converter did not stall high enough, so it was kind of lazy, but now it really woke it up. But as you can see, up here, stock front end, it has factory springs in it. It has a set of competition engineering adjustable shocks, and they're set on the 90-10 setting right now. Got a cold case aluminum radiator, derail electric fan setup, which is another upgrade we did when we put this thing back together last time. Doug's headers, can't go wrong with Fender well headers. They look awesome. As far as wheels and tires go, we got a set of Weld S71 17x5s up front with a 185 55 17 tire. And then out back, we got some good old Steelies painted black. These took me a couple tries to actually get a decent paint job out of them, but they look okay. And then they're 15x8s with 3 3/4 inches of back spacing, because this car has a Mopar 8 3/4 rear under it, so it's a little narrower than the factory 10 bolts or whatever would have been in this car. And they fit pretty good. I had to do a little bit of trimming on the quarter panel, but they don't rub. And the tire's a 255/60 15 Mickey Thompson drag radial. So it hooks pretty good on the street. I'm curious to see what it's going to do on the track. But interior wise, we got the factory bucket seats with the skunk stripe, factory dash, got a nice little old school Moon Eyes tack and a shift light, Hurst pistol grip shifter, and she works pretty good. So if you know anything about these cars, these factory front ends are not very ideal. It's basically sheet metal spot welded together, and that's the structural integrity of the car. And they do have some frame rails down there, but everything up here is basically sheet metal. So they're a little bit flimsy, and it's one of the main things that everyone changes on these cars when they get them. So with the aftermarket front ends, there's a bunch of different people that make them, since it's such a common swap on these cars. And I was looking at a bunch of different companies that make them and trying to find the best price point and the best front end for what I'm trying to do with the car. The Mustang 2 style is very common, but it's on the heavier side and they don't have much travel. And then there's companies that sell tubular front ends that are strut style, which is kind of what I was interested in. And Smith Racecraft being one of those companies, and I think they make one of the best ones. And they're a little pricey. It's like $7,500 to get going into one of them with brakes, steering, and everything you're gonna need, plus the struts and whatever else. So I wasn't really looking to spend that, but one day I got on Facebook Marketplace and I found one for sale. So now it's in my garage. This is a Smith Racecraft front end, and it's kind of decked out. It's got everything to go with it. It's got a new steering rack. It's got the steering linkage. It has double adjustable AFCO struts on it. It has TBM brakes, and it's pretty lightweight. I put it on the scale, and it's only 150 pounds for everything here as you see it. This is going to save a bunch of weight off the front of the car. It's definitely going to help it launch, and there's, I think, like 8 inches of travel it has, so it should hook well, and I think it'll take the car to the next level, knock a couple tenths off, and be pretty sweet. Well, we got her airborne. Gonna start draining the oil and draining the coolant out of it, and then I guess I'll crawl around and check some things over underneath, see if we can find any problems. Hopefully not.
A few moments later.
All right, found our first issue. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it, but see that washer dancing around? See this washer dancing around? Yeah, those bolts are loose on the transmission mount. So we'll have to tighten those up, but let's see what else we can find. And now for our next issue. This is the front subframe here, like the whole front end, where all the suspension bolts to and the engine and whatnot. And these are the bolts that hold the front subframe to the body of the car. Well, it would seem that they're a bit loose. So that's kind of important. I think we'll tighten those up. So since the lower bolts are so loose, I checked the upper ones here. There's 3 on each side. And they were a little loose too, not quite as bad. But now we're good. So hopefully the front end stays on. That would have been bad if they would have came more loose. It was definitely adjustable as it was, but now we're all tightened up. Got the oil drained. Checked it out with the flashlight. Looks pretty good. Only a little bit of glitter. Not too much. And this is the oil that I use. It's Brad Pan, or now Pen grade. 15W40, that's what Blueprint recommends. And then I got a nice little K&N oil filter. I like to consider myself a professional oil changer.
Oh my God!
I've done thousands of them over the years now, so can I get this without spilling it all over the valve? Looks like the answer is no, a quick no. Didn't really give me much time to fail. It kind of failed instantly. That's sad. Right, so I checked a bunch of bolts underneath, like the rear end U-bolts. I checked the drive shaft U-bolts, the shock bolts, a lot of other things, and everything seems to be in pretty good shape. The only thing I got to do yet is when the car's down on the ground, check the lug nuts, make sure they're torqued and tight and everything's good. I got the coolant draining out of it very slowly. So next order of business, this thing idles a little bit rich, and it just likes to, if you back the idle mixture screws off a little bit, it runs poorly, and it just likes to be a little rich. So if you do a lot of idling around, then the plugs get black and kind of foul out. So I have a handy dandy spark plug cleaner, so I'm going to pull them all out, clean all of them, and then put them back in. So this is the spark plug cleaner if you've never seen one. They make like tabletop ones. This is just a handheld, but basically in here is just like sand, and you put the plug in this end, as we'll do, and the plug actually doesn't look too bad. Usually they're black, so I must have figured something out with the auto mixture screws, but it looks pretty good. I'm still gonna do it anyways, just for so. But yeah, you stick it in this end like so, and then you basically hold it this way so that all the sand goes into here, and then when you hold this button, it sends compressed air through and sandblasts the end of the spark plug and makes it new. Hand off, and it cleans it up. I don't know if you can really tell, but yeah, it looks better. Just want to make sure you wipe the sand out of the threads and whatnot, but yeah, it's a good tool to have. All right, I just got finished doing all the plugs, and that was much less than fun. I'm a lot sweatier now, and yeah, but I think it's time to do a list check. All right, torque wheels, we didn't get there yet. Bolt check front end, we did it. Drive shaft U-bolts, cross that off. Axle U-bolts, cross that off. Drain the coolant, yeah, we did that. Oil change, yup. Clean the spark plugs, yup. Check fluids. The only one we have left to do is the brake fluid and the transmission fluid, but I have to start it up for that one. So we could do the brake fluid a while. So I won't cross that off. Gotta do tire pressures and then throw the helmet in the car and torque the wheels, and then we should be good to go. So we got all the coolant drained out, and I took it outside, got the hose out, and I flushed it out a couple times. So it should be mostly water. I checked the transmission fluid, checked the brake fluid, checked over a couple other things, and now it's just back in the garage. Basically just got to throw the hood back on it. And I was gonna load it up tonight, but as you can see, it got a little late and it's dark out. So I'm thinking I'll just do it first thing in the morning before I leave. But let's check the list out. So, torque wheels, I did that. It's good I did the rear because they were a little bit low. Check fluids, done. Tire pressures were good. I lowered the backs down to 20. I might go a little lower, but we'll see. We're good there. And throw the helmet in the car. There she is. So we can go ahead and cross that off. And that'll do it. Our list is done. Everything is good. Just got to load her up. Drive to Maple Grove tomorrow morning and see what she does. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this video. Next video is going to be me at the track making passes in the car. So we'll finally get to see what it runs. But I'm tired. I've been up since 5 a.m. and it's after 10 now. So I'm going to go get some sleep. Thanks for watching. See you next time.